Welcome to another episode of Pure Transparency. We're your hosts,
Egu me.
Anaya Lee Jennings.
Today's episode is brought to you by Ataraxis, a place of peace, unity, and growth. Today's topic is taking the lifestyle for the good and the bad. There's a lot of issues that come into the poly dynamic, and part of the issue is a lot of people do not understand poly. A lot of people do not know the ins and outs of poly life. A lot of us is basing it solely off of sexual um, interests, and that's not how poly was designed to be. At that point, you're really looking for an orgy. You're not really looking for this poly lifestyle. A poly lifestyle is basically creating a family dynamic, so you guys are able to build and to live. And I hear a lot of pushback. Well, there's no instructions or structure in poly. Is whatever makes the people in the poly comfortable. Yeah, but everything you do needs structure. Prime example, you're thinking that you're in a situation and you guys are going to be disclosed. It's just going to be you guys, and the person has another perspective of what poly is for them. They want to be, they want to, nourish other situations and get involved with other people, and keep you as a dynamic. So, um, there's pros and cons to poly as well. Like if you're just not really that person that's into if you're an introvert, prime example, if you're an introvert and then the poly people that you're dynamic is like, come on, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this, and you want to revert to self, and it's like you can't do that in this dynamic. Like it's not about you, it's about us, and you have to be willing to be able to deal with that, and sometimes on a daily basis. But these are one of the cons in being in a poly relationship. But what we're gonna do, I'm gonna pass it over to Emperor Nye because he has way more experience than I do. My knowledge of poly is strictly in books, but he's actually has experience. So take it away, Emperor Nye.
So, I know a lot of people always say the problem with, and instead of saying the problems, you could say the issue. Because the reason why you would say the issues is because you're saying things that causes issues. Like when people, I see it, there's a trend now when people say, okay, solo poly, solo poly, solo poly. And for people that been poly for so long, you know what I mean? We don't ever like the new trends and the new narratives and the new things, it doesn't fit us because we be like, yo, that don't even make no sense. And I know I'm going to get a lot of pushback and this and that and the third, but let's put it into perspective. Solo means what? Single.
Come on, yeah,
That's it. Poly means family, right? So
yeah.
you're saying that you're a solo family. Now, let's go into another perspective. A lot of people that solo poly, if you look into, they look for their foundation in others. And
Mm-hmm.
they look for, and this is not, if that's what you choose, that's fine. You can just be honest with people, and you need to be honest with people. You need to tell them up front and say, hey, I'm not looking for a family lifestyle. I'm looking for to have fun, be in it, reap the benefits or whatever you want to do. And, you give to me, I give to you, whatever, and I'm on my way.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than saying, hey, you're my partner. Because what a partner is saying, I am yours, yours mine. When
Mm-hmm.
you're saying you're solo, you're not saying I don't do partners. I'm just in it for the moment and I'm going about my way.
Right,
Right?
right,
Because I prioritize me. You get
right,
what I'm saying?
right.
But and the funny thing about it is you don't hear, and this is not me going off on everybody that says solo, but I'm just saying you gotta pay attention. You gotta stop following trends because when you follow trends, when you follow trends, you You know, you don't know who started that trend, what they tried to do, their perspective or whatever when they trying to do that trend. It's more of that's it. You get what I mean? Like I
Right.
want to do this. Oh, this fit me. This is what I'm going to do. Just like how I tell people, stop saying that you're searching for a dynamic when you've never been in a dynamic. You don't even know what
What to
dynamic
expect.
fits you.
Exactly.
Stop saying that you want to try it if you've never been in a try it. Stop saying that you want a quad if you've never been in a quad. You know, if you haven't been in something, don't say that's what you want. You can research it, you can do all that, but until you're in one and you understand what is asked of you from being in that dynamic, that's when you can say this dynamic fit me, that dynamic fit.
Mm-hmm.
Stop claiming things just because it's a fad and everybody's saying they want this, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
everybody say they want poly until you go down to it and you're like, oh, yo, I'm okay with my wife seeing other men, and then that other man make your wife happy, and you sitting over there and you're like, she's living it up, but I can't find a partner. You get what I'm saying? And I'm like,
Right.
nah, I think we gotta reset. I think we gotta reset because that's
Wow.
what normally happens. Because
Wow.
you wanted to go in it because you thought it was going to be peaches and cream. I get to see all these women. It's just like when you leave your relationship and you're in a monogamous relationship and you separate or divorce from your wife or your husband and you go and you say, man, when I was single before, I got it made. But now it's a different story. Now everybody ain't knocking down your door. Now it ain't always fun. It's
Right.
like, darn, I should have
Right.
just stayed where I was. My
Right.
thing about it is, if this is what you're choosing, don't choose it for self gain. Choose it for some part of growth. Don't
Mm,
choose it to manipulate people. Don't choose it for so you can gain things off of people. Don't choose it for I just want to have sex. Because I'm going to be honest with you. If you're going in it or if you're in it and you're just like picking up bodies, your
mm,
turnover rate is going to be ridiculous because you're never going to keep anybody around because you're not thinking of here. You're not trying to get to know who you're seeking. You're not even trying to have patience
mm.
enough to say, "Hey, let me get to know as much about you before we get
Exactly.
intimate." You're
Exactly.
thinking more of let's just do the fun stuff. Oh, I got poly, poly, poly. I got two girlfriends. I have two wives. I have two boyfriends. I have, you know what I mean? I got two husbands. But that's what you're thinking about, the fad. But what about when it gets real?
Exactly.
What about when y'all sharing a bed together if that's what you choose, right? And they hog all the covers. What about bills getting paid and two of y'all lose a job and then it's all is up on one to
Exactly.
hold the fort down. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That these
Yeah.
are these are tough times. What about when you bringing in a third or a fourth and everything was peachy and creams, but then you end up finding out that third or that fourth is toxic as hell. And then the moment when you kick them out or you remove them, that toxicity, that bad energy stays in your relationship. What
Mm.
about that? You know what I mean? Would you still choose it? Would you still be acceptable and say, you know what? We're going to try to make this work. What
Yeah.
about when you sit over here and you want the best for your partners, but they want to shove you out? Not even them. It could be both. It could be all three, or it could be that one new person come in and they say, I'm going to do this, but I want to be in your spot because they're not poly but they want to play like they're poly, but they're really monogamous and they want to pull you out so they can take that spot and then push and then tell your partner, whether male or female, say, hey, let's just do a monogamous relationship. What about them?
Crazy.
These are
Crazy.
things that goes in the streets
Mm.
that you got to understand the battles. But if you don't understand that these battles exist because you're so busy thinking about the glitter and the glam of the poly lifestyle, then you're going to miss them until you run face into them. You get what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
then you got to think about it, and you like, damn, what happened? Why me and my wife don't click anymore? We was best friends, and then when we decided to open up our relationship and be poly, now we don't even get along. Now we don't even talk. Now
Experience that.
these news people are making us enemies. You
Mm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
so it's all about the people that you connect with. When you do things like that, you have to be very, very cautious. And when I say this with respect, you got to be very, very cautious on either the evil that you let in your house or the purity. You can let bad energy in your house. People that don't even
That,
realize they bad energy because they putting it on everybody else. The energy go and stain you. It stain your household. It stain your union that you already got set for. And if you are single and you building everybody together, right? While you putting the pieces together, you need to understand not to involve everybody at once. Understand the
exactly.
pieces that you're putting in. Because
Exactly.
if you understand that the pieces that you're putting in, instead of just forcing everybody to come together, right? Then you can weigh out and say, yo, nah, that piece ain't good for here. She's
Mm-hmm.
cool or he's cool, but nah, that dude, he only for himself.
Exactly.
A lot of people go into these poly relationships because they want a place to stay,
Yes.
because they want financial gain,
Yes.
because they want you to sit over here and they like, I come and fuck you while I'm in town. Oh, send me this for my birthday. Send me this for Christmas. But then you
No.
think about it and you be like, nigga, what did you give me? What
Exactly.
what is coming back this way?
Exactly.
What is
Exactly.
really coming back to my household? But you can call me up and say, hey, let me go get a mani pedi. I need about $50. I need about $100 so I can get my nails and feet done. Cool. Now, my wife need a mani and pedi. Hey, won't you send some money so my wife can go get mani pedi? You got it. I know I got it. But we're asking you. Didn't I just pay for yours last month? Why can't you pay for hers? Even though you're not even dating her. But guess what? This is called a union for a reason. Meaning you're going to give as much or more than you take away. But a lot of these people get into these communities and they go and sit up there and say, it's about me. It's about me. No, that you take care of your wife. Don't get a wife or don't get a whole bunch of women if you can't take care of them. No, it doesn't work like that. It goes just like this. We're in a union, so we take care of each other. Yes,
Mm.
I got y'all. I got y'all. Okay, y'all with me. But then I need y'all to take care of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And if
Mm-hmm.
y'all can't take care of each other, why are you here?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you here? Because
All right.
eventually it's going to be competition. You get what
Nah.
I'm saying? If you doing the brother husband thing, same thing. As men, take care of each other. And I'm not talking about sleep with each other or anything like that. What I'm
Weird.
saying is look out for each other.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure each other is good. You can go shopping for your brother, just like you can go shopping for your sister. Do for other people more than you want people to do for you, because it's going to come back to you in tenfold. When
That's
people see that you're doing in a relationship, it's
true.
going to
Mm-hmm.
come back to you if they really fooling with you. But if they ain't fooling with you like that and you just there, just like how you get these people that says, "Oh, we're looking for a third. Oh, we look for my girlfriend." And then the only time they call you up is when they want to fuck. But
That,
then when they go and take a family trip, you ain't included. Oh, this about family. But I thought I was family. I thought this was what we was doing. Nah, they wanted a threesome with you.
wow.
You have to understand who you are entertaining. You have to understand who you are giving your precious time to
Mm-hmm.
and why are they entertaining you. Because not a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people just there to know who you are, to understand you and be with you. Go ahead.
Um, absolutely. You hit a lot of things, and like I said, I'm glad that you responded on that. I learned so much from you in the poly about a poly dynamic because, like I said, my knowledge is straight from books. Um, But I this is my first experience, and I'm grateful that I have the dynamic that I have. But in the beginning, it was a tug and war, and then only that, you have women that feel as though they want to be in a poly situation, but they come off to the female in a certain manner, and even though they don't think they're projecting that, that's what they're
Mm-hmm.
projecting. And it's just like you have to be, um, being the primary wife or being the first wife, and it's like you have to deflect or maneuver around the BS, because you're trying to understand that they're trying to mush themselves in a situation, and they still have their old isms off of what they came out of, and now they're bringing it into the new dynamic, right? So
Mm-hmm.
women will have to deal with, um, women coming in, and then they feel as though they have to dethrone you from your position. Sweetie, this is not a competition. It's not a position where
Right.
you're trying to dethrone. First of all, because he established what I was to him and what you were to him. Let's not
Right.
cross the, there's no, this is not your career. You're not looking to be promoted. This is not that. First of all. Second of all, the situation is that, what you're trying to dethrone is actually our chemistry, it's our compatibility. You're trying to go against that, but you're so worried about the wrong things. Your energy needs to be towards establishing your own relationship with him.
Right.
So if you establish your own relationship with him, you will not feel as though my position is something that you have to come against. It can't be replaced. This is our situation, and that's you guys' situation. The other thing I'm learning too is that women feel as though they want poly, like you said, until they're in the situation, they realize they really don't want poly. They still trying to
Right.
operate that he's single. He's not single,
Mm-hmm.
mama. It's us. It's not just you. You're making plans. Well, can we do this and we can that? My. He. It's not you. It's not yours. It's ours. So even that,
Mm-hmm.
even the vocabulary and the conversation that you have with the other wife or sister wives or whatever you guys want to call yourself, you have to be mindful of the things that you're saying, because you don't even know that you're coming off that way. And then another thing, you have to be transparent. Transparency is important. And then the killing part about it is, regardless of what you understand, is that your interaction with that person, even though you feel as though you're not being that, but that person is at the brunt end of your actions.
Right.
And my interpretation of your actions is what it is. Now, once we get to know each other, and you try to say, but that wasn't what it was, but that's my experience with you. You guys got to be transparent with each other. It's okay to say, you know what, in the beginning I felt some type of way. I like the way he makes me feel. I didn't realize I have to share that with somebody else that's feeling the same way for him. Be transparent. Let's
Mm-hmm.
talk about it. But don't come in this competition mindset or this weird energy. That's not what we need. That's not a healthy situation. Another thing, as far as my experience, is well as to, um, I'm that introvert, but I also am an extrovert. It all depends on the situation. So, what I'm loving about my dynamic is that I have a sister who is just like me, but not like me, and we vibe. Like it's the, you know what, this is how I felt. Okay, cool. I felt like that too. Or we're not gonna come to a conclusion right now. Let's talk about it later. And we revisit it and we talk about it. And that's, to me, is the most awesome thing that we can do. Like, if your communication is not there, you're not gonna make it as a poly situation. I'm getting to the point to understand. I'm talking to my sister. We're going to resolve things with us and within the household, within the children, within the finances before it hit his feet. It should never have to hit
Right.
his feet, because we're grown at first. First of all, and by me being in the position that I am in, and her being in the position that she is in, it's me and her. We have to resolve this. It should never make it to him. And if it make it to him, that's problematic, because now we're not mature enough to come to a conclusion to agree to disagree. Sometimes it comes to that. Let's agree to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
Or if we feel as though we need to have a family meeting, and I'm quick to call it a family meeting, we need a family meeting, and call each other out
But
on each other's shit. And then once you call each other, And the beauty part about it is we all have been called out on our shit, and we all have moved from that place in
Mm-hmm.
agreement. You know what? You're absolutely right. I apologize. I didn't realize I made you feel that way. Boom. But these are some. Listen here. Poly is not for the weak. If you're weak, you've got a self-esteem issue. Um, you got insecurities about yourself. A poly situation is not what you should be entering. I'm sorry. You got to be a strong mind type person. Not to mention you're loving it to accept and love and appreciate the woman that he chose for himself, and that both of you guys' goal is to love him. That's not
Right.
for the weak. It's not. And then a lot of people, and I'm not knocking anybody. Um, a lot of women want to come in, they're bisexual. A lot of women are not bisexual. Don't enforce
You
that
gotta respect
sexuality
it.
on the person. See what I'm saying?
Right.
Respect my boundaries. I don't want that from you. I want to be in a relationship with him and you as my friend, best friend, sister, or maybe we could just be cordial. Some women don't know how to enter into a sisterhood. And that's the problem. She may be good for him, but she's not good for the sisterhood. She ain't even trying to
Mm-hmm.
be sisters. She just, okay, we don't have to be sisters. We don't have to be best friends, but we do have to be cordial because we're
Right.
living under the same roof. Not only that, we're dealing with the same man, but you have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
females that's just not willing to bend. So
So,
you don't fit this dynamic.
so where it comes, it's not just it's not just women. It's also males as well. It's also men that because when we think about it, and a woman come to us and she'd be like, "Yo, I want more than one man." Right now, the thing about it is the mindset because we would date a woman that's married or have a boyfriend. We'd be
Mm-hmm.
her side dude. You get what I
I,
mean? We'll be her side dude.
I
We
can say
would
something.
we would sit over there, boom, boom, boom. We'd be eating this woman cooch. We'd be licking
For
her
sure.
booty and all that there. But the
For sure.
moment when it
Uh,
comes to being honest, to say, yo, this is my boyfriend, this is my husband, this is, my boyfriend. You get what I'm saying? And wow, we don't want to do that. I don't want why? Because you have to be honest now. Now do know that you fucking his wife. Now do know. Now you're uncomfortable. But why are you uncomfortable? Why do you feel the need to be sneaky rather than just being upfront and being like, all right, I love your wife as much as you love your wife. We love your wife. And we're going to look out for your wife.
we
You get what I'm saying?
indeed
You know what
we
I'm saying? So
right.
it's just like, yo, that's our wife. But a lot of us as men, we got into the mindset of being sneaky and going off being sneaky, even being with women, right? So we would get a woman that says, I'm down for it. And instead of us respecting our women to say, all right, my wife ain't bisexual, that's what I want. So why don't I go and seek the next partner to be bisexual, and me and her can get another partner to do threesomes with, right? And that means you got to be transparent with all three people to your wife. So that means you get what I mean. You did four people, so it becomes a quad. So, but the thing about it is being honest and upfront, and to say, all right, this is what I want, but I'm not going to force my partner to do this.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to force my partner to do something that's not her. I'm going to respect her because that's what poly is about. Respecting your men, respecting your woman, respecting your kids as a whole, right? So
Mhm.
then when you sit over here and say, okay, I want to respect this person. I understand that, baby. That's not so. Is it fair to get a woman that's in the women? And then we can get another partner that's in the woman, and then that's how I can have my threesome. She will be like, fine, that's cool with me, just so long as you're honest with me, because you can still cheat along, even in poly.
Exactly.
You can still be deceptive in poly. You still can be a liar in poly. You can still
Fidelity.
steal from your family in poly. The same thing that you can do in monogamy, you can do in poly. It's just magnified.
More people.
And
Yeah.
right. And people don't realize when you choose this lifestyle, the pain is worse.
Yeah.
because you're going through it with multiple people. Heartbreaks hurt more when
Yes.
this is when you're really in it. You know what I mean? Confusion confuse the hell out of you even more. Everything entices. So when you sit over here, you're playing with other people's time. You're
Mm-hmm.
playing with other people's emotions and mental space and peace.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go into this, don't go into it with your own narrative. Go into it with an open perspective to say, I'm here to learn not only myself, but I'm here to learn everybody I get involved with. Yes, let me respect the people that I don't vibe with because we got to respect the fact that, yo, you cool, but we don't vibe.
You don't
Instead of
vibe.
me,
You
right?
ain't
Instead
my
of me
people.
forcing this envelope because you're a freak or you got money or y'all live in a nice house. Like I said, I've been in a situation, a terrible situation. Invited someone in, and then guess what? Now, when you Google my name on 20 cheating sites, why? Because she wanted me to leave my wife, and then then when that one worked, she wanted my wife to leave me, and then when that didn't work, it was fuck you both. Out of the toxic people are toxic people.
They are.
Period.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what end up happening is they're gonna always try to divide when they're not getting their way. They're not gonna hold themselves accountable to say, yo, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's your fault that you getting booted out because you're not here for us. You're here to reap the benefits. And then when the person that you're supposed to be into it come around, you act all different. Pay attention to how that partner, your new partner act when they're around a person that they're not involved with. If they
Mm-hmm.
feel like they can't talk to them, if they feel like they can't spend time with them, if they don't want nothing from them, they don't want that person there. They
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be involved with that person. I'm not talking about sexually or whatever. They don't want to be that person being in that space at all. And
Mm-hmm.
9 out of 10, it'd be funny that they don't talk negative. And sometimes that person that don't want to be involved is probably your wife. It's probably your husband. It's not
Mm-hmm.
always the new people
Exactly.
because your wife or your husband really don't want to do it, but they're gonna cause drama every step of the way because they don't know how to tell you no, babe. I don't want to do it, but they don't want to lose you. So then they're gonna be like, I'll go with it, but I'm gonna act like everybody else is toxic. But guess what? They're gonna be sitting up there and they're gonna be the driving force. So it's not always the new people. Sometimes it's the person that you know. And it's like if you really don't want to do it, don't do it.
Don't
If
do
you
it.
really just want to be in a monogamous relationship, own your shit and say, yo, I just want to be monogamous. And if I gotta lose you, I respect your choice. I'm on my way.
Exactly. And then not only that too, it could be somebody that's act like they down, they smiling, they have a conversation with you, and then when they're with it around me and the other sisters, it's a whole different person. It's a whole different conversation. You know what I mean? Some
Yeah,
people could be smiling in your back and still plotting. It's
true.
still trying to make when you make a move, they trying to make two moves to make sure to beat you to the situation. Or they trying to do everything in their power to make you do things, your husband to do things with her. So therefore he's not free enough for you. So it's still a lot of undermining going around. And then somebody that's immature is looking at it and smiling, and you hope that your husband pick up on it, or you
Mm-hmm.
hope that you don't have to have this conversation because you know he's crazy about her, she's crazy about him, but it's going to cause a conflict because that's not right. And nobody wants to be told, yo, that's wrong. You're on some bull. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like
Mm-hmm.
that. That's what I have experienced as well. And it's just like at the end of the day, you have to. And what my husband tells me all the time is, you got to take the personal out of it. Yeah, okay. Sticking to facts. You okay? And the killer part about it is you're the only one that actually see the facts. So what you do is you pull back and you just pray that he sees what you see. And then only that, to be able to be in a situation, and when I'm great, like again, I'm so proud that I'm in this dynamic because I can go to my sister and be like, yo, I don't like the way you did that. She can come to me like, yo, I don't like when you said that. You see what I'm saying? And we grow from there, and not having involved our husband. Like, we got it. We got this. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta it's a flip side to that too. Sometimes Like I said, a lot of women, when they already come into an establishment, they're already
Mm-hmm.
feeling some type of way because it's already established without them. One thing about women, we're either organizers, we nurture our situation and our environment. You see what I'm saying? We're,
Right.
we're territorial by default, not meaning really wanting to be. But now you got to realize that I don't have to be territorial because this is just not mine. It's ours. You know what I
Right.
mean? He's just not here for me, but he's here for us, and I have to be mindful of that. And you know that your sister's gonna put you tap you on your shoulder like, "Yo, chill. It's cool. This us. We got it." You see what I'm saying? We got it. It's not just
Mm-hmm.
you in this situation. And coming out of a survivor mode situation into a dynamic where um, you're okay, and have to realize I got to transition, meaning I got to let go of control about a lot because my husband wants to take care of it. And telling your sister like, yo, you don't have to do that. Let him be a man. Chill. He got this. You're okay in this dynamic, literally. And he's showing you every day that you're okay. So it's just like that. That too is an issue. That too you got to work through. And it's just like, again, if you don't have like-minded people in the dynamic, it's not going to work. Once again, I'm gonna keep saying this. It is not for the weak. This dynamic will show you what's in you and what's not in you. And if you
And that's
have,
what. Oh, go ahead.
no, you good.
No, go ahead. What you about to say?
And if you have
And
a
if you have
husband
what?
that is
Mm-hmm.
grounded, he's humble, and he's wise, he's gonna be like, "That's wrong. That's wrong. This is where you went wrong at. This is what you need to correct. Let's get it together." And you're like, and you and then you got to get it together, and then you grateful be that he's able to come to you without having a agenda. You're grateful that he's not taking one side, that he's actually, he may be one sided in the beginning, but when he sit back and he think about it, he think about, he's seeing the whole picture, he will come to you and be like, "Look, no, I see what you're saying, this is how we're gonna fix this." You gotta love that, and that makes you grow comfortable in your dynamic. Go ahead, so what you gotta say.
So even if a dynamic doesn't work for you, right? Because a lot of times it's going to be a hit and miss. Maybe it's the dynamic. Maybe it's the people that you choose to make part of your dynamic. You're going to
Exactly.
have people come in and they're going to be like, you're going to be interested in a guy, you know, if you're a lady or if you're a guy, you're going to be interested in a guy and you're going to be like, yo, I'm really feeling this man, right? Then that
Hmm.
man is going to tell you, oh, well, you know, my, I'm going through a rough time with my divorce or whatever, whatever. That's not a person,
Right.
right? I'm
Hmm.
not talking about someone that's going through a divorce. I'm talking
Hmm.
about a person that's going through a rough time in their divorce, and it's like a battle. Because at the end of the day, you have to accept that into their life, and wherever that battle goes, you got to accept it because you signed on for that.
Hmm.
If you are if you dating a guy that's sitting over here that you know this dude is like selfish, you can see it. He just about self. He about having sex, blah blah blah. And you got a husband or you got a man. Why are you accepting that type of man into your life? Why are you accepting that type of woman into your
Hmm.
life? Because you're not
Hmm.
only accepting that person into your life, you're accepting
Exactly.
that person into your partner's life. And
Exactly.
yeah, you might be fine with that disturbing your peace, but is your partner fine with that disturbing their peace?
Mm-hmm.
If you have two other partners, if your partner's fine with that disturbing their peace, so my thing about it is you have to hold yourself accountable to the men and women that you entertain. It's not all about sex. Because if you just focus on sex and you're not paying attention to the state of mind a person's in, they can really not only fuck up your life, but they don't have anything to lose. So when you fooling with people that don't have anything to lose, they fucking up shit. They destroying everything in their past. And then next thing you know you're gonna talk about, yo, you invited her here. But then you look at your man or you look at your woman, you're like, but you fucked her. You know what I mean? Y'all all have to hold each other accountable and say, no, that ain't the partner for us. Like she's a sweet woman or he's a nice man, but
This ain't
we don't
this
want those
that.
issues. We cool. We at peace, and
We did.
we want to stay that way.
Exactly.
Control your peace of state and
Exactly.
control your peace of mind. Because if
Exactly.
you don't, people going to come in, they're going to nitpick. They're going to put on their fears on you. They're going to put on their fears on your partner. And they're going to take away from your life. And then you're going to have a high turnover rate because you're accepting everybody that comes with a smiling face instead of
And
actually knowing who these people are and what they want from you.
exactly.
Because if they don't just want you, guess what? Then their love and their feelings and emotions is based on conditions, and wherever those conditions are, once them conditions leave, they're gone.
So
But go
another
ahead.
thing, I was talking to a sister today. Shout out to her. Um, she know who she is, and like she enlightened me on a lot because she's been in it for a while. Fluid exchange. When she said that, that freaked me up. I'm like, whoa, what you mean? She's like, you got to be safe. You got to think about
Yeah,
everybody in the dynamic. Dynamic.
people
It's
don't think
fluid
about
exchange.
that.
Yeah, it's fluid exchange. Like, yo, you can't be out here on some willy nilly stuff. You got to think about the dynamic. And I'm glad for my sister. She was like, we got to put a medical book together. I need to know what's wrong with everybody. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I was like, you know what? That's pretty cool to know. And then on that, you need to know where that person's mental status is, or what's going on with you. Do you have mental behaviors? Are you medically sick? You see what I'm saying? Do you have something that you can't get rid of? Like these are the things that I need. We're so gun ho about sex, but we're not gun ho about sex. I need to know that
Exactly.
I can flow with you freely. Cause let's just be honest. Some of us
Oh,
with some ho ho ho's, ho 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 back in the
saying it.
day.
So a lot now. Some of them is hoes now. They just putting a different title on it.
That yeah, for real.
It's okay being a hoe. It's
I'm
okay being a
highly
comfort companion.
solo. No, bro,
Hold
when
on,
you out
hold
here
on,
with
hold on,
people.
hold on, hold on. It's okay being a comfort companion. Okay, it is okay being a
No,
comfort companion,
no,
but
we're
but
not doing
hold
that,
on,
sir.
but but
We're not
you have
doing
to let
that.
people know that you're a comfort companion. You know what
We're
I'm
not
saying? You
doing
gotta
that.
let people know. I'm just saying, let
We're
people live
not
their
doing that,
best lives, but let people know that you're living your best life.
girl.
That
No,
way, they
ma'am.
making a choice.
Anywho, shout
Mm.
out to the sister I talked
Hold
to
on. I got
today.
one. I got one more thing. For those that don't know, okay, if you put your mouth on it and then put a condom on,
You
you're
ate
working
it.
backwards.
You ate it. You ate it. It's
You're
already
working
in me.
backwards. Yes, it's
Does
all
not
you
make
might. What's the
sense.
condom? Throw it away. Throw
To
it away.
avoid all of that, you just better off to go and get tested. Let's just go get tested. That should be your first date. But like I said, let's talking to
Yeah.
my to the sister today. I'm gonna call her my sister because I feel like I really established a friendship with her, and she gave
Hmm.
us she dropped nuggets on me and the fluid exchange thing. I said, damn, now you know what that's deep. We talked about
Right.
everything else, but we ain't talk about that. You
Hmm.
absolutely right, ma'am. Look, I know you was a hoe back in the day. Look, we had conversations. Yeah,
Right.
you've been out
And a
here a
lot
little
of
bit
people
more
ain't
than me,
comfortable.
and I need to
It.
know where you at in life. Like
Right.
our first date should be the clinic. Everybody do their test.
Yeah. And if
Let's go.
someone, if you telling someone about going to the clinic, and that it shouldn't be. It should be easy breezy. Like, all right, cool, let's come on. If they hesitant, I'm like, no, I'm not going to entertain it. It's better to be safe than sorry. I don't care how much you like
Period. All
it. You
day.
know, if people act hesitant on just being safe, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me because I'm just going to be honest. How can you expect them to tell you the truth if they can't even be honest about their you know what I mean, what
Past
they've been through in their life? You know what
medical.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you can't
Yeah.
be honest about your medical history, you ain't gonna be honest with me. But you love me, you care about me. But if you love me
Impossible.
and care about me, then you know what I mean. Doing things like this should be easy.
You would
You know
think.
what I'm saying?
You would think.
It should.
But and here's the thing too. Us that have had cheating spouses
Hmm.
need to get tested. Because you might end up with something that's not even on you. You see what I'm saying? So I guess
Also, oh, go ahead. I was just saying, if you had a cheating spouse and your spouse all of a sudden come and say, "Let's just do poly," that's a no. That's a no because for one, you're going to always reference. that. You get what I mean? You're
Mm-hmm.
already building the foundation off of bullshit, and they ain't gonna
Exactly.
grow nothing but more bullshit. My thing
Exactly.
about it is, if poly is a decision that you and your partner, or you and your partners that you're meeting, is making, then that is a healthy way to get into it. But if it's a decision that was made after a partner cheated and they say, well, I'll need more, and you're still trying to be with them, that's not a healthy decision. And that right there is never going to be a healthy decision as long as you have it. Why? Because the person that got cheated on is going to regret it, because that's not what you wanted to do. Now you emotionally forced into a situation that you did not want to be into. And that's basically, if, and I'm just being honest, that's basically letting your partner cheat in front of you. Because
Mm,
then that's when the term come around, you do you and I do me. I don't have to
literally.
communicate with you. No,
Literally.
you whatever. But that's not healthy if y'all live in the same household. Because if you're
Agreed.
not communicating that, just like what you're doing, he messing with all these women, or she messing with all these men, and changing fluids, and then now you coming back to the main person, but yet you don't want to give no information.
Yeah, that can't happen. And then, like I
Mm,
said, I'm talking about you're cheating. Like we all been divorced, and we divorced because he was cheating. Like you,
mm,
stuff come out of that, and you still having wet sex with this person. So I'm saying
right.
that's what those people I feel like, and it's not if you did pop up with something, we understand the situation, or he was cheating on you. You know what I mean? It wasn't like you was out here just being a homemonger. It was like you was in a situation. That's but I think that that conversation needs to happen as well,
Mm-hmm.
dude, what's your history? Like what's happening? So we could take care of each other. And it's not a
True.
uh-oh. So what I'm saying? I think that's very important too. And then like I said, talking to her, it also made me think about some things too. Like um when you leave the house and I call to check up on you, it's not to like be on your tail about something like you're my child. No, this is me saying, I love you. We love you. Are you
Mm-hmm.
okay? We haven't heard from you. Do we need to call the police? We're doing a wellness
Right.
check. Like what's going on with you?
Yeah.
And and
If y'all
and
live
for
together, yeah. Mm-hmm. Now,
exactly.
if you don't live together and whatever, and they have to understand who you are, because a lot of people is not phone people. So, and a phone person can't force a person that don't be on the phone all the time to want to always be on the phone. And a person that don't be on the phone all the time can't force a phone person to text all the time, because that's not them. It don't entertain people who you're going to have a problem with. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you sitting over here and you don't want to compromise, and I know a lot of people say, I don't compromise, I whatever they choose to pick. Because compromising is
Okay.
everything. If you at your job that you hate and you still at your job, you're compromising. So if you want to compromise there, you need to compromise in your relationship. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? If you want to
Exactly.
compromise, you dealing with a hoopty that you can't get out of, and you like, this situation I'm dealing with until I save money for a better car. Guess what? You can compromise in your relationship. You can compromise with your partner. The compromising is the easiest thing, because you could sit over here and you could talk to your partner and say, listen, I understand these are your needs,
I
right? And I have to balance those needs. But however, I can't do that all the time. That's not me, but I can apply consistent effort to that.
mm-hmm.
But go
Hmm.
ahead.
I think communication within a dynamic, whether you're in a house or not, is still important. I think
Hmm.
it's still important.
No,
And
communication
you
is
might not
important.
be the type of person that
Hmm.
want to talk every day, but that's why we have these discussions so we understand what the other partner is expecting and what not expecting. This is
Right.
how I operate. This is how I'm wired. It's nothing personal. It's not. I'm not trying to keep tabs on you. I just need to know you're okay. And then on that, I'm a
Hmm.
mother hen. If I'm a mother hen, I definitely need. And it's not like I said. It's not to cause you to be suffocated or to make you feel anything other than you know what I care for you, and I want to look out for you, and I want to make sure that you're okay. And I think a lot of times people misinterpret. people's love language. So, like I said, we just got to be mindful of certain things, and we got to operate in a certain manner. And it's just like, if you're not in agreement with it, speak up up front, and then I will back off. Um,
Hmm.
but communication needs to happen. Like, what the heck?
Right.
I talk to my sister every day. Yo, what's going on with you? Good? She like, I'm good. She like, good morning, morning. You good? I'm good. Communication is key, because at the end of the day,
Hmm.
we're coming into a family dynamic. If we're in the same
Hmm.
household, it's gonna be, I'm gonna see her every day. Yo, what's up? She like, what's good? You're gonna talk anyway. So I
Hmm.
don't know. I just think that you got to be clear what your expectations are before you enter into it. It can't always be about sex first. These
True.
things need to
And
be
not
established.
everybody want to live in the same household either. And that's cool. But be honest to say, this is not what I want my own spot. But if you choose to have your own spot, let me
You're
be clear.
responsible.
If you choose, you're responsible. And you can't make someone else responsible for the choices you make while everybody else is compromising. That's not fair. And if
No.
you sit there and say, well, then you shouldn't entertain me. Okay, cool. And you shouldn't entertain them, because we as people need to stop trying to force people into our narrative of what we think this is. Because we will go with people and say they're not bisexual, but we'll want to force them to be bisexual. Or we'll go into people and say, well, well, you want all this and you gotta take care of everybody. No, it doesn't work like that. Not in the States anyway. That works in India. You know what I'm saying? That works over there. But the thing about it is, jobs and livelihood is different over there. It's not the same here. So we can't have the same rules, because at the end of the day, yes, I'm going to do my part to take care, but it takes everybody, because you shit like I shit. You eat like I eat. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the
Exactly.
day, if you're not pulling your weight, why are you here? If life is the same with you as life is the same without you as it is with you, then why are you here? And
Why
that's
are
in
you here?
monogamous relationship. That's in poly relationship, wherever relationship you deal. If you're dealing with people that your life would not change, or it would change just a little bit, why are you dealing with those people? Because
Why?
they're not adding value into your life.
At all.
They're not trying to get you and say, yo, we're going to grow. That's those people that you're dating and that you're married to. And then in 10 years, you're still in the same damn spot, still in the same place that you was when y'all first met, or the first year y'all was at. Why? Why are you still going it? Because those people aren't trying to grow with you. They're
They're
just
not.
there to benefit off of you.
Exactly. And it's the reality of it is hurtful, but the reality is the reality. Suck it up,
Mm.
buttercup. Move on. Because it's better for you to do it now, and then you get more
Take a
involved.
flip, teddy tits. That popped in my head when you said "suck it up, buttercup." I was like, "Ooh, that's nice. I gotta get one."
But what we not gonna
Take a
do,
flip to the
what we
tits.
not gonna do, we're not gonna do that. Okay? We're not doing that. Not today. No. We're
Teddy
not.
tits. Teddy
Oh
tits. Teddy
Lord.
tits.
Help him. Child.
Baka bang.
But I
Make a
think
joke.
too,
Good joke.
I think I think transparency is important. Transparency is so important. And then only that, sexual limitations, like that need to be discussed. What is, excuse
Hmm.
me, what is your limitations?
Right.
What are you willing to do and what you're not willing to do? I'm not sleeping in
And
the
it.
bed with my
Right.
husband and my sister. I'm not. I don't get. Everybody need their own bed. I'm sorry. You go to your corner. You go to your corner. You go to your corner. Now, if you don't want to sleep by yourself, you go to that corner.
But this is. But the thing about it is this is everybody should understand when
Mm-hmm.
they're walking into something, because there's going to come a point where everybody meet in the center, and they say everybody's going to agree to the dynamic that they choose.
That's
But
true.
it need to be something at that point that says these are my expectations, not
Exactly.
your expectations as a group. If you are a woman entertaining a man and a woman, or if you're a woman entertaining two men, or if you're a man entertaining two women, whatever, whoever you're entertaining, you sit over here and everybody they label their expectations. There should never be a group. This is our expectation. No, it should be everybody give their expectations because
Hmm.
only you can live for you.
That's
You know
true.
what I'm saying? So, and once that is agreed upon, then that's what it is. Just like what you said, you was like, well, I'm good. I ain't. Everybody deserve their own room. But what if everybody don't want their own room? And you the only person in the room and that's have your own room, then when everybody majority, because majority people are in the bed, so everybody is getting majority of the time, and then that you have to look at that perspective and say, yo, they always got you. But it's not they always got me. It's because I'm spending time with such and such, and then I'm spending time with such and such. But such and such is also there, so we all spend time together. You get what I mean? That doesn't mean that you get more time. This is your choice. And I'm not just saying that about you. I'm just saying everybody have choices. So you have to accept your choices. You can't modify your choices because you feel like you're losing in your dynamic, but that is your choice. So when that is your choice, and then everybody respects your choice, right? And then it seems like everybody else is winning because they're doing things together. Like I had someone that didn't want to watch movies with us, but everybody else did,
Hmm.
right? She
Hmm.
wanted to watch movies by herself.
Hmm.
So then we watching multiple movies together because it's everybody. And then when it becomes your turn, it's like, oh, they had you for hours and you only spent 2 hours with me.
But we was
Yeah,
trying to do it
because
collectively.
everybody got 2 hours. You get
Exactly.
what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Everybody got 2 hours. So yes, I spent 6 hours watching movies with them because everybody was together and you didn't want that. So you getting your 2 hours, and then now I got to work. I can't spend 4 hours with you, and that's not fair. I got to do something. So, but go ahead and say what you was gonna say.
Yeah, I'm back on the bed thing.
Get off the bed, okay? Get
No,
off the bed.
no, because I need it to be established, sir. We're not
Okay.
doing
All right.
that.
So let me ask you a question. But
Hmm.
no, you said that. You said you wasn't doing it, and that's when you say, okay, I respect it. But then you can't tell everybody that they can't do something that you won't do. What if they say yes?
Okay, so what you're telling me is that um potentially I will have my own room and everybody will be in the same bed with you.
But that's what it would be, right? Because they say
No,
yes and you
that
said no. But see, do you see that? Do you see how that goes? You be like, nah, that ain't what we doing. Everybody need their own space because that's what you want. But you can't talk for everybody
but here's the thing what I'm saying.
because maybe that's not what they want to do.
Okay, and here's what I'm saying too. But now you
Hmm.
have kids in the household, right?
Right? Uh huh.
You have kids in the household that's still trying to gather the whole thing of my parent being in this situation is different. So
Okay.
you need to tell me that you guys are all gonna sleep in the same bed with the kids. It's one thing they grew up as a little kid into this situation, but you
Hmm.
have half of them are preteens, half of them are little
Hmm.
children, and then you're okay with them seeing all y'all get in one bed. So
Yeah, that's
now we're
fine.
not thinking about the psyche of the kids. Now we think about ourselves.
But
So
so
you
answer
saying
this
that that's
question.
healthy?
So let me ask you this
But wait,
question.
I was asking the question. So
I know.
okay, but you need
I'm
to answer
answering
my
your
question.
question with this question.
You
I'm
can't answer
answering
that
your
question with a
question.
question, sir.
I can answer
If
it
you
if you listen
ready,
to the
you ain't
question.
gotta get ready. So you
Okay,
can't answer
but
me with a
so
question
the
with
thing
a
about it
question.
is, right? The psyche of kids are more understanding than what we level them to be,
Not all
right?
kids.
So
Not,
so hold on. When they forced monogamy on us as people, right? Our kids had to see that. What I'm saying to you is all your children going to see is loving parents. These are my parents. This is what they're going to see.
no,
Trust
they're
me.
not.
They're going to look at it as, yes, I have multiple moms. I have
That's not
multiple dads.
reality.
I
And that
have, it is reality because
Yes.
it's your reality. Listen to me. Your reality is what you make it. Trust me. When I speak to my kids are like, yeah, that's dad. That's how dad roll. Oh, okay. If they're going to be in dad life, cool. They're going to be my mom's. That's how they roll. You want to know why? Because it's up to us to not only do things in front of our kids that's positive, but it's up to us to also educate our children on what we are doing. It's not up to us to do something and not talk to our children about what is going on around them. Do you get what I'm saying? But we're
Oh
including
no, you're
them
not talking over my
in what
head.
we're doing.
That's just not reality. But I
No,
hear
I'm
what
not.
you're saying. I I I
Why
I,
ain't it reality? Why?
I respect your perspective. That's not a reality for everybody's kid. Not everybody kid views things like that. Not everybody process kids like other kids. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay, it's like it's like telling your kids Santa Claus ain't real.
apples and oranges. We're talking about
That's not apples and oranges. You want to
it
know
is.
why? You want,
It's apples and
why?
oranges because you're seeing you seeing one man and your mommy in a bed with other women and the man that's supposed to potentially be her
Yep.
husband. That's
Mhm.
apple and oranges. That's a whole
Then
different
when
situation.
you see
So
what
that's what
happens
I'm
when
saying.
you see what happens when you
I thought
see
I was talking, but
mommy
okay.
in the bed by herself?
I thought I was talking, but okay.
Okay,
So
go
go
ahead.
ahead with
No,
your.
I'm just
No, it's
asking.
okay because you interrupt me. So go ahead and
I
finish your
apologize.
thought.
I was just saying what happens. So what does that make mommy by in the bed by herself a new norm, or daddy in the bed by himself a new norm? Oh, if you and your friends sleep downstairs on the couch and on the floor and kids walk in, is that a normal or is that unnormal?
I don't sleep on the couch with my
What is
friends.
normal? But what is normal though?
I didn't use the word
You
normal.
no, but this is
Okay,
but
so
when
you
I'm
asked
thinking,
me a question I didn't ask you. What I'm asking you
okay,
is, so if you're in a
mhm,
household, and now we
yes,
all in one household, which means
mhm,
that we coming from a perspective of mommy being in the bed by herself. Now I'm
mhm,
what these kids are
mhm,
watching us climb in the
mhm,
bed together. What is
okay,
that conversation with? Because some gonna act out, some are not. Because
because
some
you
are
have
not gonna.
that conversation before you climb in their bed together.
You can have
You
a
have that
conversation
conversation
once
before you
again.
start introducing. It is.
It's a
I'm letting
conversation.
you.
It's gonna be a continuing conversation. Is what I'm
No,
trying
the
to tell you.
conversation do not last that long. It
You're
doesn't.
talking about from the aspect of
Certain
you and your
kids.
children. That's you and
I'm
your
talking
children.
about
We're
actual
talking about
personal.
children. You're gonna. It's
Yes,
always gonna be a.
but okay.
Let's agree
Majority
to
of
not
people
to
that's in.
disagree.
Okay, but I'm telling you, majority of people that's in this lifestyle. Guess what? Their children get it. It's not that hard.
I'm
Majority
not
of
saying
people,
that
their
it's
children get it.
hard.
Once you have that conversation with your kids, and they see that you are happy, and they be like, "Yo, Daddy wasn't happy before.
I hope you prove
Mommy
me
wasn't
wrong, sir.
happy
That's
before,
all I'm saying. Prove me
huh?"
wrong. Prove me
Okay,
wrong.
they
Because I know
that's all it
kids.
is. But
I know
I will say
emotional
this.
kids,
I will
and
say this.
I'm very familiar with this
I
thing.
I
My
will.
name may not be
Yes.
doctor, but I got the experience, sweetheart, and that all don't
Okay.
go down like you
But
think it's
answer
gonna
this
go down.
question.
But it
Have
is
you
gonna
seen it?
cause. It will come up, and I just want you to know when it do, I'm gonna look at you like,
But it won't come up
but it
when
will
you
come
have a
up. You're
conversation.
speaking
It
for the
don't.
aspect of your kids.
I'm
You're not
speaking
speaking
of
about other people's
actual
kids.
going through it. I'm speaking of actually going through it.
Mm.
Actually doing it twice with two different dynamics. I actually did it. I'm speaking of, my kids being teenagers, my older ones, when they actually seen it. So, have that conversation first
Mm.
before you act. You don't never do the reaction. You act and talk to them. You say, "Hey, yo, this is what it is, blah blah blah. How do you feel?" It's the same thing as if you would do when you courting a new partner that you're about to bring in your kid's life, and you say, "Hey, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about this? This is the situation that we're going into, blah blah blah." And sometimes the kid's gonna be like, "More kids? Hell yeah!" Teenager gonna be like, "How are they? Like, dude, what are they like? Are they weird?" Sometimes you got to be like, yo, let's get the kids together. And if they hang and bang together, cool. That's fives up for us. Sometimes they don't. They be like, boom. And you gotta be like, oh man, they don't get along at all. You get what I'm saying? But the thing about it is having those conversations with your children is priceless. Like you would be amazed how much like they understand. And then when they see y'all going in the room together, whatever, you think they're gonna give two fucks? The hell no. They're
More
gonna just
than you
look at
think
you
they
being
do.
happy. No,
Not
they're gonna just look at you being happy. Unless you are
naive.
in an unhappy relationships and they're gonna be like, dude, you was more happy when you was dealing with one. If they see the toxicity keep coming or whatever, they're gonna be like, yeah, this ain't working, mom. This ain't working, dad. You get what I mean? I'm just telling you. But what I'm not going to say is all children will be acceptable. That's not the case. But what I am going to say is my personal experience. It was cakewalk because I had a conversation and they enjoyed it. It wasn't a problem. The conversation didn't go back up again, and the conversation maybe come up and say, "What do I call them? Who's who?" You get what I'm saying? Like, is that mom? Is that mom? Or dude? You get what I mean? That conversation comes up. Is that dad? Is that dad? What are we doing? That's it. But as far as saying, this is weird, someone be like, well, you know, I, I'm just telling you. Go ahead. What?
I have nothing to say. One thing about it, two things for sure. You don't believe fat meat greasy, and it is in the
But
pudding.
Fat
So let's
McGreasy.
just go ahead.
You want to make a bet? Do you want to
No,
make a bet? I'm
first
all
of
for
all, you
bets.
can never. I
I'm
would
all
never
for
bet
bets.
on no kids in the mentality of a kid. Never would I do that. Every kid is different.
Okay.
Every kid comes from a different walk of life. Everybody has a different history and a trauma. So, like I
True.
said, you're the expert. You're
Hopefully
the
your kids
doctor.
don't. Hopefully kids don't have trauma yet. Hopefully,
No, kids have trauma, sweetie.
some
Kids.
of them have, but they don't have that bitch. I hope they
I had
don't
a lot of
have.
trauma as a kid, so I can't say that either. Like I
But
said,
that's why I say
hopefully
I
they
hope
don't.
because not all kids have trauma.
I
We
didn't
don't
say
want with that wish that on nobody.
that's
We
not
want
a
kids
wish.
to be
That's
enlightened,
reality. We in 2022. Wake up. Hello.
but not for every kid though.
I didn't say that was
Not every
every
kid.
kid. I said some kids
Yeah,
have trauma. Is what I said.
that's true. That's
Okay.
true.
All right, sir.
I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just poking you because you weren't easy about the
You
bed,
not
man.
you. It's not even so much that I'm uneasy
Look at
about it.
you and oh my god,
I'm
oh
not.
my god.
It's not
No,
the fact that I'm uneasy about it. I just live in reality. Sometimes I think a little
okay,
bit more into the situation than actual other people because everybody's so
yeah.
gung ho about everything. But at the same
What?
time, you need somebody to be like, reality of the matter is this.
Well, all I
How
know
we
is what
gonna?
I've been through.
Your experience is your
If
experience.
it,
I did not just say that. Did I say I respect your
okay,
perspective? I do
yeah.
believe I said I respect your perspective, but
I
I
didn't. I
also
didn't
do
hear that.
believe
I
I
think you need to
said
say it louder for the
that
people in the back. I think.
I
I
do
think.
know children.
I think you
I
need to
do
say
know
no,
children.
no. Go, run it back. I need you to say it louder for the people in the back. I don't think they heard
Negro, bye. I ain't doing that either. What I'm only
you.
gonna tell you is, because we ain't doing that either. We're not doing that. But yeah, that's something to talk about. I think we need a family meeting on that. But definitely that would be a family meeting. I think, and then not only that, my worry, and even though I'm the only one that don't have a kid in this situation, but that would be my main concern because I never want to do something that would cause any type of ill feeling in a baby at all.
Mm.
And we can't be that selfish that we want something and we're not really considering them. And that's my
But
thing because when
that
they're
should
not,
always be your first choice
and
of
I don't have a
consideration.
choice because who I am by nature, that's me.
Right.
So I'm all, and like I said, it's not even my kids. So my main concern will
What?
always be them.
They
What is the
become
comfort
yours
level?
though. They become yours though. You see how that works? The unification. Bam. Yes. And that's another thing. When people go into these relationships, if y'all are coming as a whole, yours become theirs, theirs become yours, because every y'all are the umbrella over your children's heads. And
Biologically,
if
I'm
a
coming to
person,
the situation without kids.
what you say?
So biologically, what I'm saying is my
Oh,
concern
oh,
would
you back on that?
always be, huh?
Oh, go ahead. I'm listening.
And it's time. Yes, it is. It is time.
Did you see your face, though? Did you see your face? You said, nigga. That was a nigga face. When she was,
I'm not saying that
nigga,
word. I'm not calling you no
nigga,
words. I'm not saying anything that is not your
N-I,
name, sir.
G-G-G, nigga. Huh? You said what? All right, go say what you said. What's your final word? Go ahead.
I don't have none. I
I was,
respect
I
your
was just,
perspective.
I was bored driving for like the last 20 minutes, because I felt a thread and I kept pulling. Oh, hold
I
up, hold up,
respect your
hold up.
perspective.
Look at that. Oh, you can't see it in the white shirt, but my titties are moving. My titties are moving. All right. Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Pure Transparency. We're your host,
Eh, Girl, I don't even know. I don't know. I don't
and I'm
know.
Johnny Bravo. Look at the dance. Look at. Ah, that's what I do it for. You see those reactions? They're just so heavy.